Before we begin, please imagine the bell notification is on and you're subscribed to Huna Stories. The clinking of champagne glasses had just begun when my brother's voice cut through the reception like broken glass. Everybody stop, just stop. Heads turned. Laughter died mid-breath. The string quartet stuttered to a confused halt. I was standing beside my new husband, Ethan, still holding the delicate stem of my glass, still glowing from the vows we had exchanged less than an hour ago. My name is Maya Chen, and up until that second, this had been the perfect wedding. Until my older brother, Lucas, stood up at the head table, swaying slightly, tie already loosened, eyes glassy with too much champagne and something darker. He raised his glass in a mockery of a toast. "To my little sister," he said, voice loud enough to reach the very back of the ballroom, "who finally managed to marry someone who, well, let's be honest, is punching so far above his weight it's almost embarrassing." A ripple of uncomfortable laughter tried to pretend this was a joke. It wasn't. Lucas continued, smile sharp as a blade. "Ethan here, nice guy, really, works in, what was it again? Some tiny graphic design studio? Makes, what, 60 grand on a good year? Meanwhile, Maya's been running her own company for 6 years. She's got investors begging to give her money. She's brilliant, she's beautiful, and she's settling." He pointed his glass at Ethan like it was a weapon. "Settling for the kind of house she deserves, someone who'll never match her, someone who'll always be the weak link." The silence was suffocating. My mother's hand flew to her mouth. My father stared at his plate like it might save him. The rest of the guests looked anywhere but at us. I felt Ethan's fingers tighten around mine under the table, steady, warm, unshaken. Lucas laughed, mistaking the quiet for approval. "Come on, guys, we're all thinking it. Someone had to say it. Maya deserves better than—" "That's enough." Ethan's voice wasn't loud, but it carried. He stood slowly, placed his napkin on the table with deliberate calm, and walked around to the center of the head table, where the microphone stood forgotten. Lucas smirked. "Oh, the groom wants to speak? This should be rich?" Ethan looked at my brother for a long moment, expression unreadable. Then he spoke, voice quiet but perfectly clear. "You're right about one thing, Lucas. Maya is exceptional. She built her company from nothing while everyone told her it couldn't be done. She works harder than anyone I've ever met. She's brilliant, she's kind, and somehow, some impossible how, she chose me. And I've spent every day since we met trying to become a man worthy of that choice." He paused. The room was holding its breath. "But you're wrong about almost everything else." Ethan reached into his inner jacket pocket and pulled out a slim black envelope. He set it on the table in front of Lucas. "Open it." Lucas rolled his eyes, but tore it open anyway, probably thinking it was some pathetic love letter or wedding favor. He froze. His fingers trembled as he pulled out the single sheet of paper. I watched his face go from smug to confused to pale to ashen in the space of 4 heartbeats. Ethan continued, still calm. "That's the final transfer document. As of 3 o'clock this afternoon, the Chen Walters Venture Fund now holds controlling interest in Pinnacle Creative Group, your agency." He let that land. "The one you've been bragging about for years, the one you said would put you on the map, the one you've been using to talk down to Maya since the day she started her own company." Lucas's mouth opened. Nothing came out. Ethan's voice stayed gentle, almost kind. "I never told anyone what I do for a living because I didn't want it to matter. I'm a private investor. I manage money for people who prefer to stay out of the spotlight. And yes, I'm very, very good at it." A few phones were already lighting up under tables as people started Googling. Ethan smiled, small and sad. "But the only title that has ever mattered to me is the one I said today." He looked straight at me. "Husband." Then he turned to Lucas one last time. "You can keep your job. You can keep your office, you can keep your title, but if you ever speak to my wife like that again, in private or in public, I will make sure the only thing you keep is your memories of what you used to have." He set the microphone down carefully, walked back to me, took both my hands, and whispered, just for me, "I'm sorry your brother tried to make today about him. You deserve every beautiful second of this day." Then, louder to the stunned room, "I believe the band was in the middle of something beautiful. Shall we continue?" The string quartet blinked, looked at each other, and slowly, tentatively, began to play again. Lucas sat down heavily, still clutching the paper like it might bite him. Later, during our first dance, Ethan held me close and murmured against my hair, "I would have let him say whatever he wanted if he'd just left you out of it." I smiled into his chest. "I know." And in that moment, surrounded by soft music and candlelight and the scent of gardenias, I understood something I hadn't fully grasped during the vows. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and devastatingly final. And sometimes the person who looks like the underdog has been holding all the cards the entire time. Thanks for listening. Like, comment what you would have done in that moment, and don't forget to subscribe to Huna Stories for more real-feeling revenge stories.